Today you join me outside the brand new Rolls Royce Cullinan, one of the most hotly anticipated and controversial cars of recent years. A lot of people don't like this car. They say it's a disgrace to the Rolls Royce brand, but personally I love it. Now you guys know, if you follow my channel, that I'm not a huge fan of SUVs, especially when they come from manufacturers like Lamborghini and Ferrari. And the reason behind that is you can't make an SUV sporty, but what you can do is make it luxurious, and that's exactly what Rolls Royce has done. So today we're going to take an in-depth tour of the brand new Rolls Royce Cullinan. We're going to talk briefly about the exterior, the powertrain, and the performance features of this car, but then we're going to hop in and take a very in-depth look at the interior. So let's get right into the video. Under the hood, the Cullinan is powered by that same 6.75 liter twin turbocharged V12 engine as the Gen 8 Phantom. It should be good for 563 bhp and 627 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired with an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission and an all-wheel drive that is a first in Rolls-Royce. Overall top speed should be 155 miles per hour, but don't expect too much from the 0 to 60 since this car does have a dry weight of almost 6,000 pounds. As far as the exterior of the Cullinan goes, you can see it has that same general design language as other Rolls-Royces. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say it looks the same as a Gen 8 Phantom, just a lot bigger and in SUV shape. The first thing that stands out to me when I get next to this car and I look at it is that it's absolutely enormous. Pictures and maybe videos don't quite do it justice, but when you get up next to this car and you stand next to it and you look at it, it's extremely commanding. I'm sure when you see it out on the road, it's going to catch your eye immediately just because of the enormous size. I'm 6'2", 6'3". I'm pretty much dwarfed by this car. It is bigger than a Phantom, bigger than any other Rolls Royce I've ever seen. It's just an enormous car. But that's kind of cool, you know, when you're driving this car, you probably want to stand out, you probably want to be seen, and I think it's really cool that they made it such an enormous car. Up front you can see the hand-polished stainless steel Rolls Royce Pantheon grille, also of course that Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament there. Moving on to the side of the car, you can see this one is finished a fantastic black sapphire color. It looks very, very good on this car. On camera maybe it comes up as black, it's actually kind of got a blue tint to it here. Very, very nice on this car. Contrasted with 22-inch rims as standard. You can see the car sits rather high. It does have an adjustable suspension that can raise or lower the car if you need to get into it and it needs to be low, or if you need to go over a big rock when you're off-roading and need to get it higher, you can do that. Also on the side, something I really like, of course, you've got another Rolls Royce badge, but everything's kind of chrome over here and it really contrasts that paint color super, super nicely. It also comes with Rolls Royce coach doors that open like this, kind of suicide style, with of course your Rolls Royce umbrella there. And they are soft close, which is a very, very nice feature. I believe they're putting that in all Rolls Royces these days. And then finally in the rear of the car, you've got LED taillights, a bit of a spoiler lip, and dual exhaust tips. Now before we hop into the beautiful interior, which I'm sure you're all waiting for, Now for some reason my $200 microphone just randomly decided to stop working here, so I'll just fill you guys in with this voiceover. Basically, I'm saying this is the first Rolls Royce to be an SUV, so it's the first Rolls Royce to have a hatchback, and the first Rolls Royce to have a tailgate, but since it's a Rolls Royce, you know, they can't call it a tailgate. Instead, they call it the clasp, which is really exciting. And then, I'm still talking. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can open it with just a push of a button. Really cool. Now I'm talking about some extra feature you can have put into the interior. It doesn't come as standard, but there is an option where you can have a viewing suite put into the back of the Rolls Royce, which includes 2 seats and a table and will also fold out electronically with another push of a button. And right about here is where the audio comes back. Soon, I think. Yeah. No, this doesn't come standard, like I said, just because I think a lot of people aren't actually going to need it, but if you want it, it is there for the taking. But now let's hop into that interior. Alright, so we've got the powertrain, the performance, and the exterior features out of the way. Let's focus on this gorgeous Rolls Royce interior that I'm sure all of you want to see, because this is the main feature of the car. This is what the Cullinan is all about. It's luxury interior with off-road capability, and that is really reflected in this interior, as you can see. The interior is absolutely filled with a ton of nice, high-quality leathers. This is a Rolls Royce, so you're going to get the best in build quality. Everything's going to be the finest material available. It's just you're going to have a great interior here with a great design as well. You can see some contrasting wood trim on the center console area. You've got up on the dashboard some tough leather. I believe they made this a tough leather instead of like the gallery in the Phantom 8, just to remind you that this is an off-road capable vehicle. Just a little bit of a rough look there to contrast all the soft everything else in the interior. And speaking of soft, you also have some very, very nice carpets that match the exterior color and are about as thick as any carpet I've ever seen in or out of a car. They're very comfortable on my feet, I guess, but just little things like that make this car stand above the rest. Moving on to the technology in here, you can see the nice analog clock here with the Cullinan sign on it. Very nice touch. They're putting that in a lot of Rolls Royces. Also interesting to note, this is the first Rolls Royce. That's a McLaren. Sounds good. Also, this is the first Rolls Royce to have a touchscreen infotainment system in here. That's right, no Rolls Royce before this had a touchscreen in it, which is very shocking to me actually when you consider all the luxury features they put in their car. This is the first one to have a touchscreen. But if you still prefer to control it the old way, you do have the Spirit of Ecstasy control dial here, so you control it like that. And then finally you have a fully digital gauge cluster there that again has a very nice design to it. But now let's talk about some of the more extravagant luxury options you can get in your Cullinan. Every surface that you may ever need to touch in your Rolls Royce is heated. So you've got a heated steering wheel, you've got heated seats, okay, that comes in every car. You've also got heated armrests in the center and on the door, and a heated lower seat pillar. So in case you ever need to touch anything, you don't have to let your hands get cold when you do that. I think that's just absolutely ridiculous that everything is so heated in this car. Of course, here in Florida, you're not going to need something like that, but it just, again, shows that Rolls-Royce goes so far out of their way to make sure that everything is perfect in this interior. But there's also some cool stuff in the back seat, so let's hop back there and check it out. The back seats of the Cullinan are just as spacious, luxurious, and comfortable as the front seats, and in fact, I might even go so far as to say they have more space. I don't have a tape measure with me, but just, you know, stretching my legs out here, I'm 6'2", 6'3". I'm in perfect comfort here. There's definitely enough space for all your passengers. Now, there is one seat that doesn't have a lot of space, and that's the middle seat here. But if you don't want that, you don't need 3 passengers in the back seat, you can opt to have it removed and have a refrigerator and drinks cabinet put in its place so you can have some drinks while you're riding in your Cullinan. The rear seats are actually designed to sit a little bit higher than the front seats are, just so that the passengers who are sitting in the back of the car can get just as good a view out the front as the driver and driver passenger are. Another first for Rolls-Royce back here is that the rear seats actually fold down electronically to give you a little bit more storage back here. But when they do that, they don't do it like a normal SUV would, because this is Rolls-Royce. Everything has to be just perfect. So when these seats fold down electronically, the headrests will automatically move up just to make sure you don't leave an imprint on your beautiful leather cushion here. And finally, the last thing that I want to note about this interior is that there is glass between the rear seats and the trunk. So you've kind of got 3 compartments here. You have the engine compartment, you have the passenger compartment, and you've got the trunk. And they're all separated just so you can be a little bit more isolated, a little bit better climate control, and better noise isolation. Alright guys, there you have my full in-depth review of the brand new Rolls Royce Cullinan. If you want to check out my review of the Phantom 8, you can do so by clicking right there. But before you leave, make sure to leave a like on this video and a comment below, and go ahead and check out my channel because I've got a ton of exotic supercar and hypercar and luxury car reviews up. So remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.